everyone. It is Books and Looks TV. I would like to give a disclaimer that I am not shaming Lauren London. I would like to explain how we view pretty privilege, especially when women give birth and experience grief, and just the totality in a sense of being a woman and our emotional labor, and it being kind of tied to elements outside of our control. Again, like how our body responds to birth and how we respond to having someone we love taken from us, and always being kind of like in the public image, especially if you are someone like Lauren London, where image means a lot. And so I just want to give that disclaimer because I know some people will take the title out of context, but I always have like a bigger meaning for my subjects. Okay, so when we think of Lauren London, I think many people think of her first like big screen introduction into acting in the movie ATL. In the movie, Lauren London plays the character of Nunu. She's pretty much this girl who's like isolated from the Black community or the hood per se, and she lives in an upper middle class community, and she's not really allowed to venture into like metro Atlanta. And she finds her escape by like kind of being someone else or getting some type of connection to Blackness by going to like the skating rink and actually finding someone she's compatible with, who happens to be T.I. in the movie. But anyways, what's so important about this role is again, this is like Lauren London's first role, and she is seen as the it girl, what some people would even call a preference. So from the introduction, you see how futurism plays a big part of her identity. Again, she is a biracial woman. Her father is Jewish and her mother is African American. I believe that the presence of Lauren London, again, as the it girl, pretty much was like the blueprint of her being on television. Of course, she played in other Black movies and shows, one particular being The Game, which is a popular show on BT. And I think her proximity to Nipsey Hussle also gave her like this respect and this quote unquote couple goals. At the time, Nipsey Hussle was really praised for being a power player in West Coast entrepreneurship in the Black community. And despite his past history with gang affiliation, people felt like he rose above that and he wanted to do great things for the image of Black people. But again, there were a few things that shaped Lauren London and her desirability, and I believe again those two things were giving birth and the weight she gained from her birth, and also possibly the weight she gained from losing Nipsey Hussle in her grieving process. And so again, today I would like to look at those elements of womanhood. Lauren has been portrayed in urban media as this beautiful, desirable woman who is usually fit or, has a desirable shape. It was very noticeable, like when she was sitting courtside with Nipsey Hussle at a game, that she had gained weight and she was body shamed for it, and she responded to it.
Just had a baby and I went to a Laker game and they were like, oh my gosh, she lost it. Look at her, looks a mess, and she's so big
you're
now.
So gorgeous. Are you kidding me?
But for me, it was like I just gave birth to like on a whole nother level. I did some God work. Like I love myself. And weight comes and goes. And I'm a woman and I like pizza and I like French fries and I like burgers. I'm not going to deprive myself of things that I like and enjoy because of how people see me.
For women of color, biracial women in general, giving birth can be traumatic. It can just be in general an experience that you of course never experienced before, and the toll it takes on your body is a lot. So the fact that she went out on a date and she was in the limelight just wearing like a casual shirt, pants, whatever, and people happened to say, wow, she gained a lot of weight, instead of like, oh, she looks very healthy, she gave birth to her child, she's alive. Like, people just wanted to pick her apart. And obviously it doesn't seem like her man had any issue with her gaining weight or giving birth to his child, but the absence of her being thin brought a lot of fat phobia. That goes to show like the standards we have for beauty, especially in the public image. And for the male gaze, women being in their natural state, as much as men often try to say, oh, I love a woman that's natural, if you don't have like this perfect image, people usually will pick you apart. I think that can bring a lot of pain, as you can see, like women being the butt of memes and jokes. And I've seen like pictures of people comparing Lauren London to her past, and just women in general, especially Black women in particular. We are memes and jokes, and people say, oh, this woman, her belly looks like an oatmeal pie, or, her poon poon is no longer valuable. And it's really crazy because a lot of these same men say that, oh, well, women should be domestic, they should bear our children, but they say like some of the most ignorant things on the backside. And a lot of people just expect for you to snap back into who you were before. And so the weight of being a woman is so harsh that even when you're grieving from death, people still criticize you. So Lauren London was brave enough to go back to work and, get back into something that she enjoyed doing before she even met Nipsey Hussle. One of the biggest things that people mentioned was that she gained weight. I don't know about you, but everyone responds to death differently, grief differently. Even for me, I had like a strict diet, but when my sister passed away, I began to eat more carbs and I had to control it. But sometimes if you're not aware of it, it can become out of control. So I can't imagine someone close to me, like a partner, even passing away, someone I see every day being, gunned down, the toll it could take on me, and I'm still raising a child. So I applaud Lauren for even being brave enough to step back into the public despite how, she may be body shamed by people. Go back to, again, desirability. So Lauren London, even though she's fat shamed, she never really loses total desirability. Even when Nipsey Hussle passes away, men like Kodak Black quickly jumped and say, they want their chance next. Whoop de whoop.
Hey, Kodak Black, you out of pocket, nigga. Fix that shit. Quickly. Expeditiously, nigga. You out of pocket, nigga. Ain't nobody else gonna say it, nigga. I done said it to you, nigga, and if I see you, I'ma say it in your face, nigga. You out of pocket, nigga. Get your motherfucking self together.
If I disrespected you, Lauren London, in any shape or form, I'm sorry. Even though I didn't. And rest in peace to Dude.
And so some people might say, oh, it's because of Nipsey Hussle, people's respect for them. But either way, she is still defended and she still gets a role into Hollywood as someone who's desirable. And I believe because of her features, like being light skinned or biracial or, just being pretty, she still is seen as a love interest. Whether if it was someone else, especially someone who's dark skinned, they aren't always seen as the love interest or the first pick. So you see how pretty privilege still plays a role. And then Lauren also having access to health or resources to even lose the weight, because now, it's been told that she lost 50 pounds, which is good for her. But again, a lot of people don't have that capital that comes from beauty, and they aren't able to, quote unquote, get back into shape. So those are ways that pretty privilege can impact her. And this isn't meant to like downplay her and all her strides or pick Lauren apart, but I just want to look at the dynamics of how like colorism, class, etc. can still keep you in a privileged space, whereas even people like Raven Simone, who's like a lighter skinned woman, she was shamed for being fat. And then she got surgery and it kind of quote unquote just like went away out of ways. But again, you still having the opportunity to be in those spaces to me is pretty privilege in itself. And again, there used to be a phrase called, well, I can lose my fat, but you can't lose your ugly. And I think that applies to so many things right now, especially when you think about the mindset of people just being rude, but also in a privileged aspect, someone can go from being fat and undesirable until being fit and desirable in a moment's time. And no one kind of questions it again, because this person, not necessarily Lauren London, but just people in general, if they have like a cute face and if they go under the knife, even if people shame them a little bit, they're still accepted because they still always had other things that contributed to their privilege. And so I just think in general that we need to be kind to women, even men, and also be kind to ourselves, because it's just hard enough being human. But I just wanted to talk about that and that aspect of being pretty for a big girl. Let me know how you feel in the comments. And thank you as always for listening to Books and Looks TV. I'll see you guys next time.